Homebrewers, I've got a new gadget for you. I've been on a roll recently of finding these cheap but really awesome homebrewing gadgets. Last time we had the paint mixer for stirring your mash tun, and now this, which I think is even better. So let me tell you about it. One night I'm drinking beer and browsing the More Beer website because that's how I like to spend my evenings, and I came across these guys. These are quick disconnects called Kent locks, and I'm reading up on them, and they're plastic, but they're only $3. They can take boiling temperatures, and they can take high pressure, which got me to thinking that they'd be perfect for a CO2 utility line. I've always wanted a CO2 utility line. I hook up all these different things to CO2, and it's a real pain in the ass to switch back and forth. Kent locks make that a lot easier, so let me show you my setup. What I have here is a short piece of CO2 line, 5/16, and on the end of it I have a female Kent lock. So that stays on the regulator at all times. It's always there. So as long as whatever device you're hooking up has a male Kent lock, you're good to go. It'll very easily twist right onto it. For example, what I have here is a Co2 Blowgun. Pretty cool, huh? So for example, if I'm taking a gravity reading from this carboy, I take the stopper off, take my reading. Before I put the stopper back on, just give it a shot of CO2 and you fight off that oxidation monster. If you're gonna bottle some beers, shoot some of this into your bottling bucket, prevent a lot of oxidation that way. So Kent locks make it really easy to hook up the blowgun. But for my favorite use of these things, I'm talking to you Blickman beer gun owners now. When you got your beer gun, you found out you had to split your CO2. You had to send some to your keg to push the beer, and you had to send some to the beer gun to purge the bottles. Now, if your lines are all filled up by kegs, it kind of sucks to take one off and send it to the beer gun. I didn't like that either. So this totally solves that problem. What I have here is a T. It's a splitter. This is made by Kent Lock too, but you can use any old T. Then I have a 2-inch piece of CO2 line with a male Kent Lock disconnect on the end. And on one branch, I have a quick disconnect that goes to the keg. And then on the other end, I have the Blickman beer gun, and I just keep the trigger on here. So I hook this up to the CO2 tank, and these lines are nice and long, so I can bottle on a table that's next to my freezer instead of on the side of the chest freezer, which was a real mess. And it just makes bottling with the Blickman beer gun 100 times easier. So if you want to make a CO2 utility line, these Kent locks are a great way to do it. It also really helps to have a second CO2 tank. That way you can take this thing all over the house depending on where you need it, and you can leave alone the one that's hooked up to your kegging setup. But if you only have the one, it should work fine too. Just put a male disconnect on the end of your main CO2 line running to either a keg or to a manifold. Should work perfectly. So hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and cheers.